What is up, guys? It's your boy PapaG back here again, and we got some new BIOS. These are beta, and this is the 9001. They come after the 810, and these BIOS are not officially available yet. And I want to give a thanks to justmeandtom, who commented on my 810 BIOS video to let me know that these were available in the Asus ROG forums. Now, a employee from Asus released these, and the difference in them is, if you scroll down on your AI tweaker to the bottom, it has the SENSEMI SKU here, and the description is to enhance the SENSEMI function for overclocking. It is default set to disabled. You can put it on auto or enabled. Okay, now if you want your temperatures reading correctly because you're an overclocker and you want to know your correct temperatures instead of the higher 20-degree offset, which ramps up people's fans who are not really familiar with overclocking, because AMD is trying to keep everybody from frying their systems. Okay, so this has advantages and disadvantages in these BIOS. So of course that's the advantage. Now in 810 we gained additional CBS options, okay, and in this you got the core performance boost, but we don't have the advanced options that we're seeing down here, the advanced AMD CBS options. So you lose those. If you use those for your overclock, then you're going to want to stay on the 810, but people have been complaining of low temperature readings on the 810 BIOS, and I was also receiving those low readings also. So, alright, so in here, I know in the 810 I said to go with DOCP1. Now, if you set DOCP1 in this BIOS, it bumps up the APU frequency, which is similar to the front side bus on, you know, the older generation. And I don't want to do front side bus overclocking. I just want to overclock with the BCOK. So now I need to set it on DOCP standard. And with my RAM, it's 3000 megahertz. It's the G-Skill Trident Z RGB, like I said, 3000 megahertz with a CAS latency of 16. So all that set, and then just set your memory frequency to whatever your memory is. Like I said, mine's 3000, so I don't want to go over it, so I'll stay under it. This is for stability, guys, not for for a heavy overclock. You guys know with my videos, it's about stability. It's not about extreme overclocking and trying to get fire to shoot out of the back of your PC. So, alright, so on the computer core ratio, again, we're going to, you put this up to whatever you want. Let me raise that up a little bit, sorry. And you'll see your target CPU speed change up there. So, if we want to set it all the way up to 5 gigahertz or more, you can just keep going up on that. Yeah, right. So, we're going to do my usual 3.8 gigahertz. And down here on the CPU voltage, I'm just leaving it at auto. And on the DRAM voltage, you'll want to set this to 1.36. That's what I set mine to anyways, for stability on the RAM, because I don't want any crashes like when I'm rendering in Vegas and stuff like that. Now, if you don't set this, it's going to be set to default disabled. And when it's disabled, you're going to get the higher temperature readings in your apps, guys. I just had Corsair link fired up, and it showed, I was getting like 70, 80 degrees on the package with this disabled. Now that I have it enabled, when I'm stressing it, it's showing the correct temperatures. So you want to enable this. Basically, if you're an overclocker, you want to have this enabled, okay? And now the SENSEMI technology, I'm going to go ahead and reboot while I'm talking to you guys here. So we're going to do save changes and reset. It says I haven't made any changes because I already had these set. So 3.8 gigahertz, 2933 on the RAM, 1.36 on the DRAM voltage, and I just have the CPU voltage set to auto. Because the SENSEMI technology, there's some features of it. It has a smart fetch where it kind of preloads stuff into the processor so it knows, you know, it can get stuff faster for you, open your apps faster, blah, blah, blah. It minimizes your power consumption. It has optimized power draw, and it also enables that extended frequency range that can take you up over your overclock. So it's an overclock. You know, if it feels like you have enough power left, the temperature is okay, it takes all that stuff into account, whether you're on water cooling, air cooling, and it's a really smart technology, and it should definitely, in my opinion, be enabled, and it should have been, this option should have been available in the BIOS from the get-go, in my opinion. So anyways, I know, like I said, this is beta BIOS, and a lot of you guys, you know, you're like gonna be like, oh man, you know, it's beta. So but I would not lead you guys down the wrong path. That's why I'm showing you a boot directly from my BIOS with this BIOS, and I'm gonna put a link in my description. I'll upload it to Google Drive so that you guys can download it straight off of my drive. For you guys that are subscribed, you know I can be trusted. I'm a trusted source. I wouldn't lead you wrong. And for you guys that don't know, now you know. So we're going to get booted up into this, and I'm going to open up Ryzen Master so we can see the temperatures on that, and then I'll open up the Corsair Link software, which you guys that don't have water cooling, or the Corsair H100i, the Corsair Link is the software for that monitors your processor temperature, your water temperature, your pump speed, and all that stuff. So the thing is a lot of these apps, okay, they've compensated for that 20-degree offset that AMD set. So now you have, you know, the conflicting programs, because one's going to show you the correct temp and one's going to show you the incorrect. So now, my computer takes a little while to get going, and it's mainly because of the Asus Aura RGB app. So you know, it's setting the RAM lighting and stuff. So, but we're going to get Ryzen Master started up here, and then Corsair Link will be starting up here shortly too. So like I said, justmeandtom, he has a 1700, and he, you know, noticed that temperature issue on the 810 BIOS also. So if you guys have any questions, if you have a 1700, then, you know, maybe hit him up in the comments or something, and you guys can, you know, discuss it amongst each other. You know, of course, you know, if you got a 1600 or something like that, then, or a 1600X, you know, all these things have different, you know, power. I mean, one's a 95 watt, one's a 65 watt, so, you know, your temperatures are going to be different, your voltages are going to be different, you know, for what you need to do. Like I said, this is with the 1700X. So Ryzen Master is open. As I've said in previous videos, this is the only app I would trust temperatures on right now. Okay, so it's showing in the 20-degree range, which is perfectly normal on water when you're sitting idle. So, and I also have mine in a push-pull configuration, meaning I have 4 fans on the radiator. So the temperatures are going to be lower than if you just had 2 fans on there. Okay, so now here is the Corsair Link software, which I said has already compensated for the offset. So you can see, let me try to get these pulled over closer to the center of the screen so you guys can see these. sorry. There, you can see the difference of the 20-degree offset. So it says on the Corsair Link software that my package is at 41 degrees, and Ryzen Master is the correct temperature of 20 degrees. And so what you'll want to do, like I said, is compensate for that, because so in your Corsair Link, like, you have your fan speed set to your your ramp, or if you're on air, you guys adjust your fan curve. You need to adjust for that because your apps are still going to be showing 20 degrees higher. So it's trying to ramp your fans up, So this is, let's go ahead and open up CPU-Z. And we're going to put some stress on it and see what the temperatures do. So if you guys hit this little arrow button right here on Ryzen Master, it'll drop down and then it records your temperatures here, and it also records your clock speeds, which mine are locked at 3.8 gigahertz right now because that's the way it's set in the BIOS. So you can see it's 3.8 down here also. Now we're going to go over to the bench and I'm going to stress it, and we can watch the temperatures here on Ryzen Master and the temperatures here on the Corsair Link. Trying to get this focus in a little bit better for you guys, sorry. Okay, so you can see that the temperature raised up here to 45 degrees. Now that was just on a quick little bench. Now let's put some stress on it, and it kind of locks up your programs when you put the stress on it, so hopefully Ryzen Master will still record the highest temperature. Or we could even I just got the latest version of HW Info, so we can open that up too. I know these are some of the most popular programs. I'm going to do sensors only. Now HW Info actually gives you a warning about the H100i version 2 that that the temperature settings got the skew, the offset. So we're going to go down here to, alright, here's it'll show you the current, the minimum, and the maximum temperature. So we're going to go ahead and let's do another bench and see what it shows. Like I said, it kind of locks up everything, so I can't really do too much right now until it gets done. Okay, so it said that the maximum hit 65 degrees. The minimum was 44. That's when we started, and then it will have your current temperature too, which it looks like that kind of. Okay, now it's starting to catch back up with the current temperatures back down to 46. Okay, and minimum of 44, maximum of 65. So let's okay, so it's starting to look like with this setting, with the SENSEMI setting and enabled in the BIOS, that your Ryzen Master temperature is now going to be wrong. It's going to be too low. Okay, and I would say that's probably right. So we're probably idling in the 40s. Yes, we're idling in the 40s and getting up into the mid 60s under stress. So I correct myself. You see, I'm new to this BIOS and this setting, so hopefully you guys watch this long enough to hear me say this, that I do correct myself, and I would say that the Ryzen Master, if you have the SENSEMI technology enabled in the 9001 BIOS, I would not trust the Ryzen Master temperature anymore. And let's go ahead and run some stress on it just for a little bit and see what these temperatures get up to. And remember, I'm still on auto voltage, and the reason I have it on auto voltage, especially now, is because I want the SENSEMI technology to work the way that it's supposed to, which is it will decide how much power consumption it needs. It's an optimized power draw, enables the extended frequency range, and it also knows whether you're on air, water, and you know, it takes into account your LN2 and everything. So just kind of letting this stress for a while, and I want to see what kind of temps we get up to. And hopefully HW info will looks like 65.8 so far is the maximum. That's right here, and that's also showing on my current, but it only kind of updates here and there because you're putting 100% load on all the cores. So 66, wait for it to update one more time, and still at 66. And try to scroll this up some if I can. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and stop this, and then I want to scroll up and look at the clocks and see if they did anything. Okay, so you can see that the maximum hit 100% on all the cores, and the voltage was at 1.34 average, 1.34 maximum, minimum, and the current, so it didn't feel that it needed to draw any more than 1.34 volts on the CPU. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So you can scroll all the way down to the bottom here on HW info. Let me bring this over to you guys. If you come all the way down here to the bottom of HW info and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see your errors here. And if you guys see any kind of errors there, then something's wrong with your overclock. And that also includes like if you're overclocking your GPU also. So this is a really good program for that. If you guys see some errors down here, something's wrong, and you probably need to back your overclock down on either your processor or your GPU. So let's see on the motherboard. Okay, see now it shows the CPU temperature hit the max of let's see, the max of 58. So it is correctly reporting on the motherboard now. Okay, and then you got all your other temp sensors. Sorry about that, my recording time had reached its maximum. So but that about wraps it up, guys. So it looks like the HW info is correctly reporting motherboard temperatures now. Ryzen Master with the SENSEMI technology enabled in the BIOS is now showing the wrong temperature in Ryzen Master. It's showing the low temperature. So do not trust that anymore if you have the SENSEMI technology on the 9001, the 9001 BIOS, these beta BIOS. And the Corsair link is showing the correct temperatures. And the HW Info 64 is showing the correct temperatures. So now, when using like MSI Afterburner, it should be showing the correct temperatures in there also, which I'm going to go test that out while I have you guys on here. And get my overclock enabled. And we are going to fire up something like Heaven. Well, I don't have that. I got the Valley benchmark on here, so we'll fire up Valley full screen and run this. And I'm going to move you over just a little bit here, and we can see the 1700X temp there. Okay, now the 1700X temp using MSI Afterburner, unless they've updated today, or Riva Tuner statistics server, is it's kind of hard to say. Yeah, I would say it's showing the wrong temperatures. Yeah, I'd say that's showing the wrong temperatures. Yep. Okay, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up at that. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Like I said, you could get with justmeandtom in the comments. He has the 1700. I have the 1700X. And these settings that I did in the BIOS in the beginning, they seem to be pretty stable so far. I guess I can go run a Cinebench real quick just to kind of show stability here. Like I said, I don't do the frontside bus overclocking. This is for stability at 3.8 gigahertz on the 1700X. My RAM is 3000 and I'm running it at 2933. I bumped my DRAM voltage up to 1.36 and leave the CPU voltage on auto, and now I have the SENSEMI technology enabled. And I'll show you guys the score over here on Cinebench for you guys that really keep up with the scores, so you know where it compares. So it scored at 1639 is the score. And I don't even really know how that compares because I don't keep up with the scores on Cinebench. I just run it for stability testing. And I guess I'll go ahead and run the CPU-Z benchmark one more time for you enthusiasts who want to see what the scores stack up as. So we'll go to submit and compare. Okay, sorry, recording time reached max again. I got 2 minutes and 15 seconds to show you this, so alright, we're going to yeah, everything's cool there. We're going to go to submit, and right now it's benching it, and then it's going to submit the score. And it opens up your browser. Okay, so there we are at the 3.8, and let me see here. I don't want to do that way. I want to do the bench. Okay, there we go. Here's the bench. $4,700, somewhere around there, and 430 on the single thread. Got 1 minute and 15 seconds left to recording on this phone, guys. I might have to get off of here, but let's go ahead to submit and compare now. And now it should bring up what I benched there. This still didn't work for some reason. I don't know. But you guys got the scores right there that showed it's a 4706 and on the multi-thread and 433 on the single thread. So that's the scores for you enthusiasts who want to know at the 3.8 gigahertz. So alright guys, appreciate you checking out the video. Please leave a like, comment below, and if you're not subscribed, do so, because I'll definitely be keeping up with these BIOS and any kind of updates and other findings that we have. So, but if you are an overclocker and you're not worried about extreme, then I would definitely enable the SENSEMI technology to get correct temperature readings in the apps and Windows. Alright, thanks guys.